You go.
Hey, the Scotch Test Dummies. I'm Scott.
Bart!
Bart was confused. I've got him straightened out. We got Woodford Reserve Wheated Whiskey.
I was like, weeded whiskey?
Wheated bourbon.
Weeded? It's usually heavy on the rye. Yeah, weeded. We're going, test it!
Wheated bourbon style.
Wow. All right, definitely caught me off guard.
Yeah, Bart was. He's like, what is it?
Yeah,
Woodford
like
Reserve?
weeded. He's like, how many times are you going to say weeded like that? You keep saying weeded. Yeah, so it's surprising. Now, Woodford Reserve I like, but it's usually bringing a lot of wood.
Well, there is, what we need to redo is the double oaked, which has been a long time.
Okay, long time.
Since we did that early on. So the Woodford Reserve wheated, Kentucky straight bourbon, Kentucky straight wheat whiskey.
Yeah, wheat whiskey. Which is
I didn't know. I was thinking it was wheated bourbon. It's not wheated bourbon.
Whiskey,
it's wheat whiskey.
Which is weird, because you can have a wheater that's bourbon.
So yeah, this must be predominantly wheat.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Generally,
it's all unknown. That's why the question mark was in there.
Generally, we would look that up for you and let you know with the research.
No, we don't.
We don't?
No.
No, we don't.
No.
We don't do the research. So
you
have to.
But that was why I had all these questions. And it's kind of understated. I actually thought it was going to be some kind of.
I was like, what's the big? It's a wheated bourbon. Come on. It's a wheated bourbon. He's like, wheat whiskey.
I know. I kept going, weeded. And then you were mocking me. And then here we go. Truth be told. I kept thinking maybe it was a single barrel or a store pick. And you're like, no, weeded. I was like, weeded? It's a wheated whiskey. Oh. Huh. It actually smells a lot sweeter than the normal
cinnamon honey.
Yeah.
And I'm still a little muted. Disclaimer still. Sense is mostly like back.
Honeysuckle. Huh. With a touch of cherry cough syrup.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? It's got a much lighter nose.
I was just thinking toast with buttered and cinnamon on it. Cinnamon,
I'm trying to get the toast. Honey. I don't know if I get the toast. I definitely get the honey, though. Like a honeysuckle.
This was a little higher. ABV 245 was at 45.2%.
I'm glad they added it too.
90.4 proof.
0.2 is all you need right there.
Woodford Reserve wheat whiskey. Let's see. Ooh. Mm-hmm. I like the nose. I mean, for what I'm getting.
Oh, boy. So it opened up astringent, dry. I'm going to have to come back to mid-palate. The finish, I also get little touches of cherry, like sour cherry. And then a finish of buttery caramel. But not as sweet, a buttery dry caramel. I think this needs some water.
I'm parsing this one out. It is a little different.
Yeah. The open was very dry, though. I was a little surprised.
I don't get the dryness to it. There's cinnamon. There's almost like it almost feels like a malt. It just feels like a malt whiskey. Maybe that's more because there's more wheat.
Maybe. Those didn't change much with some water.
The sour cherry or the sour mash. Remember the chocolate candy?
Cordial?
Sour mash. No, it was I think that's what it was called, was sour mash, if I remember. Or cherry mash. Maybe it was in a little individually wrapped package. I don't remember. I was little.
Oh,
maybe about that big.
I don't remember any kind of cherry.
Seemed like it was a white wrapper with a. Maybe that was the cigarettes.
Yeah, they used to make the chalk cigarettes. You could pretend like you were smoking when you were 6.
I used to have those.
Oh, I loved them. Loved them to death. Yeah, you were grown up. You were grown up.
Whose idea was that?
Yeah, I know. Hey, let's market candy cigarettes to children. Sounds great. And the parents didn't really care. I remember I'd pick it and they go, you want that? Sure. I think they even laughed, a little bit of pointing. Ha ha. Then you go run around with your machine guns, little it made noise. Mm. Mm.
I get cinnamon up front. A lot of cinnamon, honeys.
Still comes in astringent, dry for me though.
I like this neat. I don't get astringency to it per se.
Man, it's like a cotton balls in my mouth.
Mm. We're trying to think what else is there. There's a little bit of a cherry chocolate, dark chocolate almost, maybe cherry dark chocolate toast. I'll stick with my toast.
Yeah, you got your toast. That's an interesting tasting. How
about Nutella on toast? Cherry Nutella.
No, I don't get any Nutella. I love Nutella too. There's a touch of cherry, but it just opens up dry. Now cinnamon, pepper. Mm-hmm. Then it goes dry mid-palate. With the water in there, I'm getting a touch of the cherry, but I don't get as much of the caramel now. It's not as sweet in the finish. It's kind of there and it'll linger.
I don't get some of the usual, bourbon type notes that I would realizing this is a wheat whiskey. If you were looking for like brown sugars, even vanilla, I don't really get vanilla.
I had some, no, I don't.
Maybe a little bit of a caramel.
I like it better without the water. I don't usually Woodford Reserve. I'll get a lot more of the oak influence. I don't feel like I'm getting a lot of the wood flavors here. It's kind of a weird animal.
Yeah, it's a little bit different for sure. Cinnamon heavy, sweet, cinnamon honey toast with sugar and cherry cordials.
Kentucky straight wheat whiskey. Label batch 0109. Bottle number 0717. This one's hit me a little flat. 82.
85. 85. Not bad. Different.
It's weird though. I can't even say that if you love weeded bourbons that you're going to love this, because it doesn't give me like those Four Roses floral kind of taste that I'm kind of used to. I've got the Weller's 12 is right over in there.
Let's just try it real quick next to Maker's weeded bourbon.
Okay.
Maker's kind of a standard.
Yeah.
Standby. Stand to.
Standard, good, great weeder.
And a clean glass.
Okay.
I do want to kind of see. I did have when I saw Woodford weeded, I was thinking weeded bourbon. So let's just see what. And it's not. It's different. Go right into it. Pretty close ABV wise here.
Yeah, it's 45%.
Yeah, there's a little bit more depth on the Maker's Mark. More of that caramel.
Well, more rounded. It's not as dry. It feels a little more like succulent. Normally I wouldn't describe Maker's that way, but compared to the dryness that I'm getting off of the Woodford.
Yeah, there is going side by side there. Now all of a sudden I feel that astringency from the Woodford. It definitely soaked the gums a little bit more than the Maker's does.
Soaked them? Dried them. That's not a thing. You're like, yes.
Yeah, Maker's seems a little bit sweeter, a little bit more depth to it, a little richer.
A little more velvety mouthfeel even.
Yeah. No, but I still stand by the 85 on
me too. And the 45% 40.2 and a 45%.
Pretty-
So our ABVs are close.
Closer though than what I was expecting. When I thought that felt a little bit different, but
Right. Yeah, closer than what I expected. The dryness here is probably the main thing I don't like as much.
$35. Not bad. It's actually cheaper, and that's even cheaper than I thought it was going to
I
be.
used to buy Woodford Reserve early on, pre-Elijah Craig.
Bourbon, and I think it's $40 to $45 range.
Right.
I think it's kind of stayed in
I
that
loved
area.
when the Kentucky Derby came around and they would do their little limited bottles with the horse race art on the front, so I kind of got into that a little bit. And then he had the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, and that was it. I didn't.
Love at first sight.
Oh, love at first taste. Wow, wow, and more wow. That was magical. That's really, the Elijah Craig got me to love bourbon. So that definitely moved me into the bourbon love.
Go to ScotchTestDummies.com. You can pick up coins, shirts, hats, glasses, dropper sets, all kinds of stuff there. Help support the show.
Right. Patreon, if you like what we do and you want to throw just $1, $2, $3, or whatever you want to do on there per show, we'd love that. It helps us keep the show going. Helps us. We actually will purchase the whiskey ourselves. Every once in a while, a fan will send us something or a distillery will send something. But generally, we're purchasing them for ourselves from those Patreon funds. So if you want to help us, think about it. Scotch it. You Scotch gods.
Sláinte.
Dummies. Gave you the look in your ear hole.
I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard not to crinkle.
I've got manly hands. When I grasp, they crinkle.